What if the death of one young student didn't just expose a crime but cracked open decades of unresolved anger, silence and neglect? What if what we're seeing right now in India's northeast is not just outrage but the early signs of another political movement in the making? On December 9, 2025 in Dehradun, 24-year-old Anjel Chakma, a student from Tripura, was allegedly attacked by a group of men after he objected to racial slurs. He was called Chinese, momo and other racial insults that people from Northeast have heard for decades. Anjel was brutally assaulted and stabbed multiple times. He fought for life for over 2 weeks and on December 26, he died in the hospital. This was not the first such incident, but something about this one broke through the region's patience. Across Tripura, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur and the entire northeastern region, students, civil society groups and indigenous organizations have erupted in anger once again. The Tripura Chakma Students Association demanded central intervention, fast-track justice and accountability. Tripura Chief Minister Manik Saha spoke to Uttarakhand CM Pushkar Singh Dhami, who promised a full investigation, but the reaction did not stop there. Others spoke up too. Meghalaya CM Conrad Sangma publicly said racial violence against Northeast Indians is unacceptable. Union Minister Kiran Rijiju demanded a special policing mechanism for racial crimes against people from the Northeast similar to the special arrangements in Delhi. And Congress leader Rahul Gandhi went one step further, calling Angel's killing a horrific hate crime and questioning delays in filing the FIR. This wasn't just about one case anymore. This was definitely about identity, safety and dignity. For people from Northeast, this fear isn't new. Students leaving home to study in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Dehradun, Bengaluru have long spoken about being mocked for their appearance, stereotyped as foreigners and even treated as outsiders in their own country. Anjel Chakma's death forced the country to confront a truth the Northeast has known for years, that citizenship on paper does not always mean belonging in reality. The Northeast is already on edge, and this tragedy didn't happen in isolation because the Northeast is already burning with unresolved crisis. Let's rewind. In May 2023, Manipur exploded into ethnic violence between Meitei and Kuki-Zo communities. Hundreds died, tens of thousands were displaced, and entire villages were wiped out. By February 2025, the situation had deteriorated so badly that President's rule was imposed in Manipur. So when Anjel Chakma died in December 2025, people were not only mourning a student, but were also asking how many signals does the region have to send before the rest of India listens. Now here's where things get politically significant. In November 2025, something unprecedented happened. Top regional leaders came together to announce a new political platform called One Northeast. Among them were Meghalaya CM Conrad K. Sangma, Tripura Motha founder Pradyut Bikram Manikya Deb Burma, Nagaland leader Honlumo Kikon and Assam-based leader Daniel Langthasa. The idea was simple but powerful, that there was a need for a collective voice for the Northeast to protect indigenous identity, culture, land and to speak together on national platforms. Not against anyone or any party, they said, but for the people of the region. Opposition leaders also pointed out something crucial, that tribal communities were growing uncomfortable with aggressive centralized politics, cultural imposition and old unresolved issues like illegal migration. Around the same time, Daniel Langthasa, former MAC from Dima Hasao, announced he would form a new People's Party, a party rooted in the 6th schedule, indigenous self-governance and grassroots democracy. He called it a genuine people's voice. Now this matters because the Northeast has seen this before. Is history repeating itself? In the late 1970s and 80s, Assam witnessed massive student-led uprisings. The Assam movement, led by ASU, rose against illegal immigration from Bangladesh. That movement created a political force, and out of it came the Assam Gana Parishad (AGP), which went on to form the government. The lesson from history has been quite clear. When identity, land and demographic fear combine, the Northeast reorganizes politically. Illegal immigration has long shaped politics in Assam, Tripura and Meghalaya. Indigenous communities have repeatedly argued that they have acted as India's first line of defense socially, culturally, and demographically. Tipramotha chief Pradyot Manikya recently reignited the debate by saying that Northeast communities have historically acted as barriers against unchecked migration. Whether controversial or not, these remarks reflect a deeper sentiment that the Northeast feels used as a buffer but rarely respected as a stakeholder. So what does Anjel Chakma represent now? His death has become more than a crime. It has become a symbol of racial alienation, a reminder of unequal citizenship, and a trigger point for regional unity. Candlelight marches, student protests, political statements, they all point to one thing. The Northeast is speaking loudly. So here's the question we're left with. Is this another moment of outrage that will fade with time? Or are we watching the early chapters of a new political movement like the Assam movement once was? With rising regional platforms, new indigenous parties, and a generation that refused to stay silent, is the Northeast once again reorganizing itself politically and culturally? And if it is, are we ready to listen this time? Maybe the most uncomfortable truth we need to face is that we still haven't fully acknowledged that the people of Northeast are not guests in this country. People from the Northeast grow up knowing the culture of the rest of the country as their own. How much did the rest of the country really know about the Chakmas or the Kokborok language, or even the names of the several tribes nested in this part of the country and their culture? How many of us can name the capitals of these states in our own country correctly without confusing Aizawl for Imphal? How many of us know their cuisines beyond jokes? How many of us understand their histories not as footnotes but as lived realities? How many of them do we see in our cinema, in our boardrooms, in our newsrooms and national memory? How many faces from the Northeast do we recognize without needing a tragedy first? How many artists, thinkers, musicians, entrepreneurs from the region have we celebrated while they were alive? Why did Zubeen Garg become a national talking point for many Indians only after he was gone? How many of us paused then, even for a moment, to ask why we had never tried to listen before? A country cannot claim unity while allowing parts of itself to remain invisible. And until we truly see the Northeast not as the other, not as a borderland, not as a stereotype, but as equal participants in Indian story, names will keep being used as slurs and belonging will keep being conditional.